Is the frequency in use?
Is the frequency in use? All right, this is K4PEW. My name is Paul. I'm net control for the Mount Juliet Simplex Radio Net. This is our 5-year anniversary net, oddly. I'll just summarize real quick. We're not doing anything particularly special tonight. We shall find out as people check in, but some of the things we've accomplished together through the Simplex net here in the Middle Tennessee, and that's improved our stations and learned new things. We made new friends. We started weekly, and then, I mean, not weekly, but monthly, and then twice monthly breakfast. We've become kind of, I don't want to say a force in the community, but I think we've become well known, and we've caused other stations, other people to become interested in Simplex, even if they're not checking in here. For instance, the Bowling Green Net started their own Simplex net, and they're doing it twice a week up there on 146.430. And they kind of modeled it after us, but that isn't important. As long as people, in fact, people tell me they're hearing more people on Simplex than ever, not just necessarily on our frequency such as it is. But anyway, I digress. Is there any emergency or priority traffic? All righty, if there is, just jump in here and we'll be glad to help you out. Call 911 first, and if they can't help you, well, it's too bad. The net may be broken any time for emergency or priority traffic. For information on this net, you can look right now on YouTube. You can see my mug, but you're really going to be mostly interested in just what the meter says. It's like an applause meter in the old 50s TV shows, game shows. It just tells you how good your antenna is, your signal's reaching me. It doesn't tell me anything how it reaches you, though. So you be the judge. I get out pretty good. Anyway, we can see me there on YouTube, which is, you can either look me up on K4PEW in the search block in YouTube, or under the Brain Trusts, BRAINTRUSTS, bring one word, Brain Trusts, that's the channel. It'll come right up. And you can also see our website at 146415.net, 146415. Nice little informational thing there. And then, of course, on Yahoo Groups at MJ_SS, that's Mike Juliet _ Sierra. And last but not least, you can contact me at K4PEW at ARRL.net. And it's a lot of stuff. We normally meet at 8 p.m. every Wednesday and Saturday, which we've been doing more or less for the last 5 years. We were meeting on Sunday, and we changed that to Saturday. So it's Wednesday and Saturday instead of Wednesday and Sunday. Sunday and Wednesday's bad because some people have church both nights, and that messes them up. So this gives them one opportunity a week to miss the net instead of two. The purpose of the net is to support and train ham radio operators to have fun. And on Simplex, of course, it improves their stations, and we have a lot of fun. Get to know, like I said, meet new people and have fun. That's all. Anyway, we invite everyone to use the net to enough for major announcements, nuclear alerts, and landslides, volcanoes, hurricanes, tornadoes, and fire ants. So all I had tonight is Vet City's got their Ham Fest October 5th. October 5th. Don't forget to mark your calendars for that. $6. $6. No discount for Tennesseans. In fact, they may charge more if you tell them you're from Tennessee. Thursday night, which is tomorrow, the 26th, is the WC4AR. That's the Wilson Amateur Radio Club at 8 p.m. on their what do you call it? Areas Information Net. So 147.105. I think it's what is it? Plus offset 156.7 PL. And that's all I got. Any other announcements? Well, really hyping up the net tonight. Well, very good. Well, I'll just start taking check-ins. Again, this is number 521. This is our 5th year. We'll be starting our 6th year, actually, I guess this week or Saturday or whatever. And we're starting from the east. So east, please come now.
WA4ZHI.
Welcome, James. How are you doing?
Oh, doing pretty good. Took it easy today.
Well, that's what you're supposed to be doing in retirement, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm working hard at it.
Time just flies by, doesn't it?
Yeah, I love it.
I don't know if you ever saw that cartoon. Oh, I forgot the name of the cartoon now. The one that used to be in the Sunday paper with the boy and his tiger, his pet tiger.
Yeah, but I can't think of a name either.
Anyway, it's cool. I had a couple of his books here. I think it was called. He used to use that term when he was busy. You know, they said, "What do you do?" He said, "Well, the days are just packed."
I don't remember that one. I didn't see that one.
Yeah. Anyway, I'll have to find it and send it out to you. At any rate, how you doing? All right. Otherwise.
Yeah, pretty good. Not hurting or ailing right now.
Well, that's good. You got your health. You got almost everything except for money and love and job.
I worked the job and I got the love.
Yeah, just kidding. Yeah, I don't need any more. Well, I got enough jobs around here. I think you're probably in the same boat.
Well, a non-paying job.
Yeah, no. Well, you get paid Social Security, right?
Yeah, you got to bring all that up.
That's the problem. It's your money.
I spent the money that I earned a long time ago.
Oh, I know that. Well, very good. Good to have you in there, James. That's James here in middle of Mount Juliet. And that was Whiskey Alpha 4 Zulu Hotel India. Right here in the middle. He's still using the indoor antenna, but it's a darn good one. It's the new fantastic. Who else? East, please come in.
KE4TWI.
Hey, how you doing tonight, Wes?
Doing good. I'm actually at mobile. We're pulling out of church here Wednesday night service. And probably distance now. You're S2 on my horizontal loop.
Where are you located, mobile?
I'm on Florida Pike between Watertown and Lebanon.
All righty. Well, it's good. You got a good solid signal.
You're S2. That's the best I could get. I kind of creeped forward and put it apart. All right, y'all go ahead. KE4TWI mobile.
Yeah, you're barely hitting 1.5, but the audio is good, and that buzzing that's normally in our signals the last few days is mostly gone. Very good. That was Wes, and he's mobile, KE4TWI, down near Watertown. Who else, East?
Echo 4, Delta Echo Zulu.
Now, your signal sounds good tonight there, Earl.
Well, didn't really change anything over here. Must be conditions.
Well, like I said, the last few days in this hot weather, I do not know the reason. I'm presuming it's electrical noise. I don't know. From the utilities. I don't know. I have no idea what it is. Somebody might be able to tell me, but your signal sounds much better than it has in the last couple of days.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. You're sounding pretty good over here, too. But I have a kind of a question for you. Come up with the last day or two. You got to take time for the net. Maybe somebody else might have the same question. I'm not sure. What do you say?
Yeah, what question you got?
Well, in regards to feed line and dB loss versus dB ratings of an antenna, if the feed line has a certain amount of dB loss for a certain length to run or whatever, just a hypothetical deal. An antenna has a large dB gain, or however they specify that. Is that loss, dB loss through the feed line, going to be regenerated or regained by a higher gain antenna, or how does that work? If you follow my question.
Yeah, I do. Well, when you calculate your total power out on your antenna, let's say you had, in this case, I believe you have a vertical you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's just say it has for the sake of argument, in easy math, it's got a 10 dB gain. Well, technically, theoretically, if you had 50 watts and it was 50 watts right at the base of the antenna, forget what the feed line loss is at the moment because we don't know what it is, then your effective radiated power is that 50 watts times the 10 dB gain. Now, to know that, I don't know how to calculate the loss other than what's published for 100 feet in the catalog.
using, say, 2 dBs through the feed line, and you got, say, a 10 dB gain antenna, and say you're doing 20 watts, so you're actually doing getting 18 watts to the antenna, so you're actually going to be putting 28 watts, or actually, well, anyway, you're gaining that there feed line loss through the antenna. Of course, anyway, yeah, I think I follow you. Does that make sense?
Well, yeah, whatever your loss is on the antenna is going to be, let's say, just say for the sake of argument, it's 2 dB loss, which I doubt it is, unless you got a couple of 100 feet or more. You know, good, a good, you know, the better feed line is going to have a lower loss, obviously, for 100 feet. But I'm guessing that most of the time it's somewhere between 0.5 and 2 dB. That's my guess. Somebody like Robin might be able to tell me a little better than that. There's some others on the net that I'm sure they can. But yeah, and it's really, unless it's a long run, I believe it's relatively insignificant. And it's going to be theoretical unless you can measure accurately the loss on your feed line, or you have an ability to measure the wattage at the point of the antenna feed point.
What's wrong with this unit? I'm not able to figure out what. Carry on. KI4SIB.
Oh, I got it. I can hear you now. What's up? All right, I was listening. I was just talking to you. You could hear me talking to Earl?
No, I could not. I couldn't hear a thing.
You couldn't hear anything. How about now? You can hear me?
I can now. Just fine, like usual.
Oh, okay. What'd you have to do? Whack your radio?
I have no idea. It came and it went and it came back.
All righty. You gotta stop buying them chink radios, man.
No, this is a Yaesu 1500M. This is no cheap radio. It's a single band, but it ain't cheap.
No, I said chink.
Well, the thing about that is I don't make but chinks anymore.
Yes, I know. Just being silly here. All right. No, Earl, are you copying Richard? Okay.
Yeah, I hear him just fine over here.
All right, and you're copying Earl now?
I'm hearing everything now. I don't know what the thunder got into this thing.
All right. It was taking along now.
Yeah, I ain't got time for that.
All right. Well, let me finish up with Earl here, and we'll check you in from the east side there. So, all right, Earl, I think we covered most of that, and I'm pretty sure I have some information on how to do that calculation in here somewhere. I'll send it out.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And I got a daggone I don't know, schematic or instructions or whatever to do a 3-element 2-meter beam from Mike today in the mail, so that's going to come in handy. May have a couple questions on that, but I can cover that somewhere a different way, a different day. KE4DZ, back to you, Paul.
Yeah, very good, Earl. That was Earl. He is in Noreen. He's just a little bit east of Cedars, Lebanon. That's Kilo Echo 4 Delta Echo Zulu, if you want to look him up. Who else we got east? Please come in.
Whiskey Delta 4 Bravo, Charlie.
How you doing, Jeff?
Doing good. I figured I'd finally jump back in.
Yeah, no, you're doing great. I was expecting Richard to jump back in. I didn't check him in, but he was complaining he couldn't hear anybody.
I'll let him go.
Well, very good. You doing all right, Jeff?
Always.
All right, you're doing a good job with that Tuesday night now.
It's coming along, I will say that.
Good. Well, like I said, I told you before, everything takes time.
That's true.
All right, well, very good. That's Jeff. He's in Lebanon, and he's with Whiskey Delta 4 Bravo Whiskey Charlie, and he's got a good signal, a great signal tonight. Are you on your base station, right?
Right.
Yeah, things have improved because you really have a nice audio tonight.
That's good. Hey, I might have to have the radio checked.
I don't know. I don't know what because before I don't know whether it's conditions or what, but yeah, okay. Whatever. All right, I'll catch you later, Jeff. That was Whiskey Delta 4 Bravo Whiskey Charlie, Jeff in Lebanon. Hey, Richard, you still there?
Yeah, go ahead.
Obviously, you could hear Jeff.
Oh, yeah, very, very well. In fact, when you call for East, after you got through calling West, I got through talking to West, line, I never heard anything.
Well, it might be because I don't know. Could you check the power? Did you pay your utility bill?
Yeah, I've got that done. Actually, I heard James stronger than I've ever heard him tonight.
Huh. Yeah, like I said, I think conditions are very good tonight. Maybe we got some hope for that fella over there in where he is. Iowa? Where was it? Kansas? I forgot already.
Kansas.
Yeah, Kansas. Hope he's listening. I got the beam pointed his way too.
Well, I hope somebody can hear him. But anyway, y'all carry on. I'm just, this thing is, like I've told everybody I ever said to anything in my life, electronics has got a mind of its own. It does what it wants to when it wants to. The best we can hope for is to reach a compromise with it on any given day. Yeah, for us, I'll be back in that. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll catch you later, Richard. That was Richard, Kilo India 4, Sierra India Bravo, with his new intermittent radio. He's in just west of Lebanon. Good to have you in there, Richard. Who else? East? Hello, Stan. How's everything going with you?
Doing pretty good for physical therapy. Just helping that about 4 more weeks of PT. So hopefully it'll get me back in good shape. I think.
Well, I never thought much of physical therapy until it worked for me, and I said, hey, this works pretty good.
Yeah, it's been helping my shoulder a lot. You were telling me that my body had kind of went into self-protect mode whenever it figured out that there was something wrong with my spinal cord, and now we're trying to get the shoulder straightened back out from where it got messed up because the back was messed up.
Yeah, well, as you know as well, better than most, that having physical problems is a pain. It's just both a pain literally and a pain figuratively.
Yeah, it sure is. Well, I want to hold you up back from this 43.
Yeah, very good. That was Stan Kilo, November 4, Hotel Quebec Echo. He is in just a little bit north of downtown Lebanon. Who else east, please come on?
W4BN.
Hey, Ed, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing fairly well. Just listening to everybody check in. Thanks for doing the event tonight. And looking forward to a Saturday get together.
Oh, yeah, and the next 5 years.
It's just coming Saturday, isn't it?
No, that's what I mean. This is our 5th year anniversary, and I said, well, and we're looking forward to another 5 years. We're going to have another 5 years of breakfast, too.
Well, some of us do. I don't know if I'll make it 5 more years.
I don't make any promises for me either. My wife says, how do you feel? I said, I don't know. I feel like I'm going to go to an early grave. That's what I feel like sometimes.
Every day's a blessing.
Yeah, I know it is. But everything's all right with you. Otherwise, you're not having you're not making final plans, are you?
That's nothing I know of.
All right, very good. Looking forward to seeing you on Saturday. And my wife asked me that. She goes, when's the next breakfast? I said, Saturday. She goes, so soon? I go, it's every other week. I mean, not every other week, but it's twice a month. It's hard not to miss.
That's right.
All right, well, very good. That was Eddie Whiskey 4, Echo Bravo X-Ray, and he is in Gladeville. Great signal as always, and he's also stepped in a couple of times doing the net when I was unavailable, sick or injured, lame, lazy, or crippled. One of those areas. Who else? East? Anybody? All right, up to the north of Mount Juliet, north of Lebanon Road, north of Division Street.
KV9 RKK.
Hey, you gonna make it Saturday or what? Frank?
Oh, yeah, somebody stepped on you there. Somebody must be closer to me. Go ahead there, Paul.
All right, anyway, hold on. We're going to talk to Frank first. Well, I was thinking unless it's that guy in Kansas.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. You heard that, that guy in Kansas has got 4 stacked 11 element beams and 1,000-watt amplifier.
We're on VHF?
On 2 meters.
Wow. Move on stuff.
Well, he's pointing it toward us right now if you're feeling the heat.
I'm feeling the heat, but it's probably not from that.
No, that's right. Today it gets nice at night though, doesn't it these days?
Yeah. No, but I'll tell you, we need a little bit more rain. We got a little bit. We got teas.
Well, they tell me there might be some thunder showers tomorrow. I think I saw in the weather.
We got a little tiny drizzle on the way home. Just not enough to get the road wet. Just enough to get food on the windshield.
That's not enough to make my lawn grow.
You have a lot still.
Not much. It looks like an old dried out wig.
Yeah, you always think. I mean, it looks terrible, but you don't have to cut it as much.
I don't cut it at all.
It's something that's growing. Somehow the weeds still manage to grow.
Yeah, I know. It's not too bad though. If it rains, yeah, it'll green it up and it'll go dry again. Winter's coming up. You know the deal. Well, very good. That was Frank. Kilo Bravo 9 Romeo Kilo. It is Romeo. Is it whiskey or kilo? I forgot already.
It is KB9 RKK, and I was gonna just give you real quick. That was, I believe, Calvin and Hobbes was the comic you were thinking about.
Oh yeah. I couldn't think of that. That's remember you used to say the days are just packed.
That used to be one of my favorite comics.
Oh yeah, my mother loved him too. She thought that was one of the funniest cartoons she'd ever seen in her life because it just really exemplified what a child thinks.
Yep. Who didn't want a pet tiger?
I don't know if I want. Well, I don't want a pet tiger that's going to attack me like his always did.
Yeah, he did. He always played mean pranks on him.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. I enjoyed that a lot. All right, very good. Kilo Bravo 9 Romeo Kilo. I just couldn't even read my own writing, so that's why I quiz you on it. And that's Frank, and he's over there in Northwest Wilson. Anybody else north?
K4 RBQ.
Hey, Brent, how are you?
Hey, doing good, Paul. How you doing tonight?
Doing good for, I can't believe I lasted 5 years.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
Well, I would have never, I don't know that I gave it much thought, but honestly, how long we'd be here on the Simplex. I didn't know. I didn't have a clue. We just kept doing it, you know? It's like being married. Every day is just another day.
Oh, we'll be around till we dry rot.
I'm already started.
Me too.
Yeah, so you're doing okay with your days off this week?
Yeah, I worked the fire department yesterday, so I've had a pretty full week and ran the parlor-in-law around all day, and just kind of taking it day by day.
Yeah, just living the dream, huh?
Yeah, yes, I guess you'd call it that.
Oh, I don't know. It's really true what we were saying earlier. As long as you're not walking around in pain or being sick, and having just a bad time physically, everything you will forget how good it is when you feel good.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. No, I mean, as far as feeling, I'm feeling great. I mean, shoot, I could do cartwheels.
I probably just hurt myself. I tried.
There you have it. Well, Paul, it's good talking to you, and I'm going to just stay on the side here and listen to the rest of the guys check in.
Yeah, very good. I wrote down your call. Is it KB4 RBQ? Did I get that wrong?
Kilo Echo 4, Romeo Victor, Quebec.
Yeah, I'm getting that dyslexia, or I'll call it Alzheimer's. Early Alzheimer's, I don't know what you call it. Old timers. That's what it is.
Are you sure it's not Elmer's Timers?
I don't know. I forget. See, that's the problem. I forget. Anyway, that was Brent, and that's Kilo Echo 4 Romeo Bravo, Quebec. Who else we got north? Anybody?
WB0 NOL.
Hey, how are you? I'll think of your name in a second. See, there you go. I forgot already. How you doing, Mark?
Doing good, Paul. Good evening to you and the net. Congratulations on your milestone net here.
Yeah, it's. I don't know if other people have had nets this long on Simplex or not. I don't have a clue. I mean, I was told that the Bible net that's on every morning on that AF4TZ repeater has been there. It's been on the air, I think, since the 60s, but they started out Simplex back in the 60s.
Yeah. Years ago, when I lived in Atlanta, we did one on 5.2, and it was pretty well attended. I don't think near as good as this one, though. But it was kind of fun. And then we all decided we needed a repeater, and that ruined everything.
Why does that ruin everything? Tell me.
Oh, I don't know. I guess because our wives could hear us talk from miles and miles and miles away.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of funny though that, well, again, so I'm sure that I don't know what it is about repeaters that everything seems to come and go, but that's true. There's been other simplex nets in both in Nashville and out of Wilson County that have faded as well. There was one, I'm told, on 405 for many years here in Wilson County, and there's still a few guys, not too many, that still use it occasionally.
Yeah. Yeah. The Sumner County group had a really active net some years back, and it was well attended. Of course, it was on a repeater too, so it covered a really wide area. I don't really know what it is. I think that there's just no magic in talking on a repeater.
Yeah, I suppose that's true. It's kind of like being on that thing on Facebook, Face Talk. Everybody on the planet can talk to you.
Yeah, whatever that is. You mean FaceTime?
Oh yeah, is that what it's called? I don't have Facebook. I made up the name.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm all got my antenna polished up and listening for Kansas. I'm going to be out there next week, so if I don't hear him now, I'll take a talkie and give him a call.
Oh, that'd be great. You might want to tell him too. Just email. Well, I think it's the same deal though. What's funny is repeaters don't seem to have a lot of activity, and then you stick a repeater and you put IRLP or Echolink on it, and you even get less activity.
Yeah, I played with some of that internet VoIP stuff, and it just wasn't for me. I don't think. I don't know why. I guess there's not much magic in being connected by wires.
No, and the only reason I've ever found it convenient, and that was, I had some friends around the country that I would sometimes use on Echolink, but man, you can use Skype, you can, you got cell phones, I could just call them. It's not that big a deal, if they live in New York or Vegas or California,
Exactly. You really want to talk to them, call them on the phone. But anyway, well, carry on. Congratulations again, and doing a great job. WB0NOL.
Yeah, very good. That was Mark in Hermitage, Whiskey Bravo 0, November, Oscar. And truly, it's congratulations to everyone who participates. I'm just the facilitator, as you say, because if it's just me, it's not much of a net. It's because everybody else who shows up. I got another, and I did. The first net was the funniest one because there was nobody but me. That was 5 years ago. Net number 1 that had nobody. Told my wife, I said, well, that didn't go well. Well, lasted only about 4 minutes. Anyway, who else we got? North, please come on. Anybody north of Mount Juliet? Over to the west then, west of Division, west of Mount Juliet Road, west of Mount Juliet, please come on.
And for TJF.
Hey, Rick, what's up?
Another day, man. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm still breathing, sitting upright, taking solid food. No pains at the moment.
Well, you got it going on, man. Hey, about the same here. I got a lot to be thankful for, man. Anyway, hello everybody on the net. And Ashland City is alive and well.
Well, you got anything big going on over in Ashland City? Big parades or marching bands or anything?
No, not today. There usually is something big happening here, but not today. I think everybody's taking a rest.
I think you had the big one last week. It was the wedding probably consumed the whole town.
Yeah. Pretty much we stopped traffic.
I'll bet. Yeah, that's also always a big event in a family's life to have their daughter get married.
Amen. Yeah, that's probably about the most exciting thing that happened in Sept County.
Well, at least for that weekend.
That's true.
Well, very good. Good to have you in there, Rick. That's Rick in Ashland City. It's Kilo November 4, Tango, Juliet, Foxtrot. Who else? West, please come in.
KM4YRF.
Hey, how are you doing there, Michael?
I'm doing really good, Paul. Want to say congratulations on 5 years of doing a great job on the net.
Hey, did you get your, yeah, thank you. Did you get your antenna fixed?
Oh, no, not yet. Maybe this weekend.
Just maybe stuff, man.
Well, I was feeling kind of puny the weekend and just didn't want to start something not feeling really good.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, we got accountability going on here, man. You got to get it fixed.
Well, I'm going to get it fixed, and I got a whole bunch of new coax to put on it whenever I get it down.
Oh, boy. Why did you new? You just didn't like the old one?
Well, no, I got some 9913 from Robin just in case the coax was the problem.
Ah. Oh, very good. I hope it works out good. I'm looking forward to it. Of course, your signal's good to me anyway. So you're on the 3-element beam now?
Yeah, that's really that's my only choice at the moment.
All righty. Well, you're doing a great job, at least to me. That was Michael, Kilo Mike 4, Yankee, Romeo Foxtrot, and he's in Belshire, who is also west. Please come down. Thanks for being there, Michael.
W4AWE.
Hey, John. How you doing tonight on our 5th anniversary? Sounds silly, then.
Wow, is it? That's fantastic. How you doing, Paul?
I'm doing pretty good. I was, just been busy doing lots of silly things that don't amount to a hill of beans, but I'm having a good time doing it.
Yeah, me too. I just, I realized today I have been doing so much stuff here. It's like the normal job stuff, and then 2/3 of it is trying to get all this stuff on the house done and complete before winter. And man, it's just been sort of a blur. I worked all last night. At least it was cool, but about to get it all done. And watching a little bit of the that Ken Burns country music special is just. It's turned into an emotional thing for me. It's sort of like watching This Is Your Life.
Oh, I'll bet it is. I mean, I can't imagine, since I didn't grow up in the South at all, and I really had no real connection with country and Western music when I was a kid growing up. Had some, but not much until I moved into the South, and it was in Florida, and country and Western didn't dominate there. That's South of Florida doesn't really meet the requirements to be called the South anymore. There were some country stations down there, but I didn't gravitate towards it. And I moved here and I go, hey, this isn't so bad. But I can honestly see, I saw it before the series. I saw how much, I'll just say, love for that style and that brand and that whole idea of country music, how much it's loved in the South. I saw it here. I didn't see it anywhere else.
Yeah, and even back in the 60s and 70s, country radio went through some real ups and downs where it almost disappeared for a while and then came back. But what shocked me, I knew they were going to use some of my pictures, but I had no idea how many. And it's of course I'm cheating. I've got that box set and I'm able to skip ahead, but it's literally, I'm seeing things that I remember the stuff so exactly, especially knowing those people, that it's just like it was yesterday.
Oh, I can believe it. Yeah, I can believe it. It's like I said, though, it's oddly, I appreciate it probably more than I thought I would. And I'm not sure, it's also, I just like to see, I really enjoy history well presented, and Ken Burns does that very well. I mean, he does it, I can't even explain it. It's really, he takes it to a different art form, really.
Yeah, and he really has that down to a fine art, the storytelling and then the voiceover, especially with still pictures. But it's the thing that really, I had almost forgotten. Sometimes you're so close to people you forget. Having spent a lot of time in LA and meeting a lot of people in I guess what you would call modern entertainment and television and actors, it's shocking when I see people like Waylon Jennings and John Cash and June Carter, literally knowing them one day, they accepted me as family. I mean, it was just amazing.
I'll bet it was. Well, to tell you the quick story, when I moved my mother here 3 years ago, and she grew up in her dad was a fiddle player, self-taught. He played great. He played the piano. He played the fiddle and the steel guitar and a Hawaiian guitar. He just was a all around kind of country musician because that's where he grew up in the country. Except it wasn't this country; it was in southern Ontario in Canada. And so he played all kinds of events, everything from hay rides and hoedowns and church music and you name it, he did it. And his father before him did that. So it's a heritage my mother had. She was also a professional piano player. She played for those same events with her dad on the piano. And she also played her whole life. She paid as a paid musician. But anyway, when I brought her here and I took her to, what's now the new, not the Ryman Theater. I took her to the Ryman Theater, but I also took her to over there to the what do you call it? To the, what's that place called? The hotel? I forgot the name.
Yeah, the Opry House that's at the Opryland Hotel.
Yeah, it's not the same, but when I took her there, she just loved it. I mean, it was just like, she saw the fiddle players and the people playing. She just was like, this is, it was like she was in heaven compared to, it was like she was seeing, she hadn't been messing with that stuff since her dad died. He died 50 years ago.
Yeah, it's just, it's amazing. I mean, I remember meeting Grandpa Jones, and Minnie Pearl was my mom's second cousin from Central. So, some of these folks I actually met personally when I wasn't even photographing them, and it really is a family. And the old Opry, when you were there backstage, it was so small, literally, it was standing room only with performers. There really was not much room for a performer to wait to go on.
Well, I saw that. You saw that. I didn't realize it. I saw it there in that series where they had so many people at the Ryman, they put them up on stage in the back.
Yeah, that did happen occasionally. And man, talk about hot. On a summer night, they put those side doors open out to the alley to Tootsie's, but not much air moved.
I don't think anybody cared.
Not at all.
No, that would have been quite an event. And again, I would say that I didn't fully realize it, and like I said, until I moved to Tennessee, that when I look back on that period of my life from the 40s through now, in I'll say modern music, like you mentioned it, through the 50s and 60s, popular music, let me qualify. Popular music as it moved in the 50s and 60s and 70s and 80s, it did not address the issues of people who grew up in the southern states, predominantly southern states, who grew up with that music. And so Frank Sinatra didn't speak to most of them. Elvis did, but not Frank Sinatra.
Yeah, it's really, different cultural worlds coming from, the Bronx and Brooklyn and the South, but that's probably what's made American music so incredible. Is it really, especially country music here, because so much of the influence in country music actually is black from the cotton fields.
Oh, absolutely. It was like a great way that all of that moved together. It also affected, you're probably familiar with it, because of the slaves that were brought into the Caribbean. There's also Afro-Caribbean, there's Afro-Cuban music, there's, and of course the African music that came here, that influence here in this country. And of course, a lot of that settled in places like New Orleans and Memphis. It's an amazing thing. And that's why so many people around the world see us as, I guess, leaders in that kind of music.
Yeah, I mean, it's what influenced the Beatles and the Rolling Stones and a lot of the British acts. They were just totally enamored of that Sun Records sound. I just felt it. The whole takeaway I got from watching this so far is, wow, how lucky I got to just be at a point in life where I got to be thrown in with all those people.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that's kind of heartwarming to look back at.
Yeah. But anyway, let's see who else we got west.
All right, very good, John. That's John, Whiskey 4 Alpha, Whiskey Echo, reminiscent about the good old days when country music was country and it wasn't pop. And he's over in Bellevue. Who else we got west? Please come on. Anybody else west? Over to the south then.
Romeo 4 Alpha Zulu.
Hello, Tim. What's up with you?
Not a whole lot. Not a whole lot. Just sitting here at the computer. I already looked up some old radios. Turned on the net. How about yourself?
Doing great. You, yeah, it's, where was it? You got church on Wednesday nights, don't you?
No, sir. Well, we have a Wednesday night kid that is at on Wednesday nights our church, and there's about every fourth Wednesday or so I kind of was a watchman kind of thing, kind of watch the door, let folks in and out, things of that nature. But other than that, we don't have a regular service per se.
What do you mean, security type stuff, you mean?
Yes, sir.
You know, we never needed security when I was growing up.
Just the culture we live in. It's kind of mainly the main ones there are children and ladies, in especially where our church is. It's kind of in a warehouse district, and it can got some rough clientele that's come through there from time to time. And I know that you've got to just be definitely led by the Lord to know that sometimes folks come up to the door and we go out. I mean, let anybody, we in, but in case somebody come in trying to come in, if you could tell, at least you'd have somewhere that, especially the way our doors our church is set up too, and it kind of goes back into could nobody see them. I mean, so my wife one time they had a women's class there one Monday night, one weeknight, and they looked up and this guy was just standing there in the foyer that's right there in the door, looking right where their class is at. I mean, he said, "Oh, I didn't mean to startle you, but there was a dumpster next door to the church, and he's going to throw away a big, I don't know what it was, an aquarium, and he just wanted to make sure anybody, before he threw it away, if anybody wanted." He kind of went along his way, but it startled him. And the thing about it was, that's when we started kind of having somebody there to kind of keep the door secured, and kind of watch for things like that.
Oh, I got you. Can't hurt at all. It doesn't cost anything to do that. So, well, very good. Good to have you in there, Tim.
All righty. Well, everybody have a good night. And y'all, it's sad about talking about folks of the church, but we're in a culture where you think that churches used to stay open all the time. They didn't even lock them when nobody there. It used to be a little church right next door to our house when I was a kid, and it stayed open. They'd have the windows up a lot of times. The summertime with no air conditioning in it. They'd leave them windows up and the curtains be blowing, Didn't nobody think nothing about that because wasn't nobody going to go in there and vandalize nothing, but a whole different culture. Anyway, Paul, everybody, we'll leave on a better note, but anyway, everybody have a good evening. KR4AZ clear.
Yeah, very good. Good to have you in there, Tim. There was Tim Kilo Romeo 4 Alpha Zulu. He's in Murfreesboro. Anybody else south?
Kilo Delta 4 Zulu Golf.
Gonna take the Kilo Alpha, Woodbury.
Hey, Woodbury, hold on one second. Got Shelbyville / Shake Rag in there. How you doing, Ed?
Well, good evening, Paul. Kilo Delta 4 Zulu Golf Yankee. I heard you a while ago talking about the country music here. We wanted some tickets one time and we got to go to the CMT where they do the videos and stuff, and they let us, we toured the Grand Ole Opry building at Opryland, and I got to walk out on stage right where they brought some of the old flooring from the Ryman over there and stand right there where they do
Oh yeah, no, I don't. Since I didn't grow up here, I don't have that same, the same feeling that you would. But I really do appreciate the history of what's going on here in Tennessee and Nashville. And when I see people from all over Tennessee, particularly in Middle Tennessee, but I'm sure it's the same all over. How many people play instruments and are musically inclined just due to that whole culture, which is great.
Well, I grew up and we didn't have a television, but I'd stop by the old, it used to be the dollar store, and I'd get a little transistor radio. Take that transistor radio with a brand new battery in it, take it to bed with me and listen to the Grand Ole Opry. Of course, I'd fall asleep about 10:30. Wake up the next morning, that battery be run down.
I used to do the same thing, but I didn't listen to the Grand Ole Opry. I know what you're talking about, though.
Yeah, that's a thought I hadn't thought of in a while too. But anyway, I appreciate it, Paul. I know there's others in here that got some good tales to tell, but I do have a real sweet spot with country music all my life. We grew up in this area, and there you go, KD4ZGY.
Yeah, very good. That was Kilo Delta 4 Zulu Golf Yankee Ed, and he's in Shake Rag near Shelbyville. Did I hear MJ in there? What did I hear in Woodbury? There Woodbury in there?
That's affirmative, Paul. You got a copy on?
Yeah, I got a copy on you. Who is this?
MJ.
Wait a minute, who was that last station, please? Wait, hold on, MJ. Oh, anybody else copying that station? Whiskey Alpha Zero?
He's coming in from Culleoka,
I don't even know where that is.
southwest of me.
Ah, very good. Well, try to pick that up because I didn't even catch his call. I heard the Whiskey Alpha Zero. Whiskey Alpha Zero, go again, please. All right, I didn't catch any. Larry, did you copy any of that? All right, did anybody copy any of that? Larry, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. It's a little bit weak to me, but I think it was WA0JBW.
Is that Whiskey Alpha Zero Juliet Bravo Whiskey? It's Whiskey Alpha Zero Juliet Tango? I got you. Juliet Tango Whiskey, fantastic. Appreciate you checking in. Signal's a little weak to me. I mean, it's better sometimes than others, but you're just barely breaking hardly moving the meter, but I do have an audio on you. I'll be looking you up. Appreciate you checking in, though. Yeah, 73s. Appreciate it. MG, are you able to copy him?
Negative. I copied Larry and you, but nobody else.
Ah, very good. What's your new call? I forgot it.
Kilo 6, Kilo Alpha.
Yeah, that's right. You got a 6 call. You throw me off. You think it's California or something.
Well, I'm glad I'm not there, but it's a good call.
Yeah. It's definitely not a Tennessee call.
Yeah, there's a story behind that, but it's pretty long, so I won't repeat it on the radio.
No, that's all right. It almost sounds like, KK. There's a radio, all those radio stations out there are, no, that's the East Coast. Is all the K stations, isn't it? I mean, commercial.
No, negative. The old nomenclature was anything that was east of the Mississippi was W. Anything west of the Mississippi is K.
Yeah, you're right. I had it backwards. You're right, because the big stations in our area were all W's.
Yeah, affirmative on that. Hey, you doing, Paul? You doing okay?
I'm doing fantastic. Finishing off the 5-year mark here, so we're kind of, I guess we're having fun with it.
Yeah, roger that. I actually hooked up my radio so I can do the Aries net. We have an Aries net every Tuesday night at 7 o'clock on the 140 net, 145 490 repeater. So I had, being net control, I had to hook my radio back up.
And where are you doing that for? I mean, which county?
It's a dual county, DeKalb and Cannon County.
Okay, I got you. The Calvin Canyon. Yeah. I've only been through those areas, haven't paid much attention to them, but you get a good turnout on those nets?
It's pretty much 6 to 8 people a night. It's not bad. Some nights we get 10 or 15.
I don't know if you saw that. I actually counted up the number of hams in Davidson County, Wilson County, because they're on QRZ. You can count them all. Wilson, all the counties around here, and the more urban the counties are, like Davidson, there's less hams per capita in the populated counties than there are in the rural counties, like Cannon County and Rutherford County, etc.
I wouldn't, I'm sorry, I got a disturbance behind me. I would think that would be true.
Yeah, it's just interesting though. I hadn't given it much thought, but I think that people in rural counties feel more inclined to get a radio for communications just because they're not near a population center.
Yeah, that's true. And we have a good Aries net down here. Whenever we have any kind of weather coming up, several of us have the CR3 radar, and we make sure that everybody's safe around this county. Anybody who wants to listen to us. Cool.
Well, very good. I'm glad to get you in there. I haven't heard you in a little while. You were here a couple of weeks ago. Anyway, that was MJ. He is in Rutherford. He's actually in here in Woodbury. So that is Cannon County, is it not?
Yeah, it's affirmative.
Yeah, I thought so. All right, this call is Kilo 6 Kilo Alpha, and the signal's pretty good coming in there tonight from Woodbury.
You're a little better too. You're about an S6 or S7.
Awesome. You're doing about S3, but it's very good audio. All righty. Who else? South, please come in.
KM4 VV8 K4 Tango Juliet.
Hold on, K4 Tango Juliet. I've got Dan, Kilo Mike 4 Victor Alpha. How you doing, Dan?
Doing okay. Sitting on the HT tonight, so there probably won't be too many people copying me.
You're doing what now? I'm sorry.
The HT.
Oh, see, I can barely tell. Your audio is very good.
Well, we're so close to each other, it's almost tin can telephone range.
Yeah, even with the HT, you're bumping up against 60 Overton.
That's amazing.
No, I don't think it would matter if you went to 1 watt.
Probably not. This is supposedly 8 watt, but who knows? Whatever they say and what it is are two different animals.
Well, and that's that dual band Bofang?
No, this is a TYT.
Okay, so it's 4 watts. Yeah, somebody told me on the Bofang, the 8 watt. He says, yeah, it's 8 watts. It's 4 watts on. He says it's 2 meters and 4 on 77.
Hey, but for $20, how can you go wrong?
No, you really can't. No, the TYT makes a pretty good radio from my experience.
That's I picked it up because somebody told me it was better than a Bofang, and I guess it is. It's a little easier to controls on it are a little easier, and the buttons are a little bigger.
Well, what's funny is to me is it looks like it actually feels like a better radio. It feels more sturdy and more commercial, really.
Well, I have nothing to say about that. My feel is gone.
Okay, very good. That was Dan, Kilo Mike 4 Victor Alpha. He's here in Mount Juliet over there near Providence on his HT, so probably many of you couldn't hear him. But anyway, K4TJ, are you still there?
Yes, Paul. Congratulations, son. 5 years. And this is Bill from Murfreesboro.
Hey, how you doing, Bill?
Doing all right. Just thought I'd check in tonight.
That is Kilo 4 Tango Juliet. Did I get that right?
Yes, that's correct.
I haven't heard from you in a while.
Yeah, I think I've only checked in one other time.
Well, I'm glad you're here. How much power do you have down there? It looks. I see your station there in QRZ. It looks like a pretty nice station. That's that new. What is that? New icon?
No, that's an Orion. The rig here is Kenwood V71 and a halfway vertical dipole.
Oh yeah, I've got that Kenwood as well. That's a really nice dual bander, isn't it?
Yeah, but I pressed some button and lost all of my police frequencies from the right side. I don't know what I did. I'm going to have to get into the manual to figure it out.
Yeah, boy. Yeah, that Orion looks pretty. I didn't know it had that big a screen.
Yeah, it's a big radio. It's about almost 18 inches wide.
Man, you must have to have extra. Must have concrete holding up that shelf. That is one big radio.
Roger.
Man, no, it is nice. I like that screen. Well, good to have you in there, Bill. That's Kilo 4 Tango Juliet, and he's in Murfreesboro. Good to have you in there again. It's been a while, but I'm glad you're there. I get it's funny because I know there's people who sometimes listen or don't jump in, but I'm always, like I've said, I'm always grateful whoever shows up. Yeah, it just shows the interest in Simplex and in radio in general. Good to have you in there, Bill. Who else? South. Yeah, South. We're still working on South.
KT410.
Hey, how are you tonight? KT410.
Oh, I'm doing fine. You doing okay? Just firing the hair and the biscuit down there in Franklin.
Yeah, I'm sure you're doing great, Randy. I always admire the picture you have on QRZ of your antennas. You still have those up?
I still got most of those. One of them I was converting to from a 15-meter antenna to a 10-meter, and I've still got it. I've still got an old 11-meter quad that PDL2s that I converted to 10 meters, and they work very well. I don't have them very high up in the air, as you saw, but I've played with them a whole lot. They do pretty good.
Yeah, well, it's like anything else. I knew a guy in Florida. He was disabled and he was confined to a wheelchair, and he also was in a deed restricted community, and he had limited antennas, up in trees and along the fence line. He had an article in, not QST, the other magazine, CQ. I believe it was CQ. He did 10,000 QSOs in 1 year.
Pretty good. Pretty very good. I mean, that's staying radio, but I'm going to tell you, I've probably been there. Well, I ain't made that many because I wasn't always looking for just the amount as what I needed,
Well, what he did is I think he wanted to prove to himself and others that even though he had a limited ability to have antennas up, and he worked phone, he worked CW, he worked digital, RTTY, whatever he could grab his hands onto, he worked. And he did, all you have to do is make 30 or 40 QSOs a day, and he had the time and the inclination to do it. So, but it just shows you that you don't have to have killer equipment to get a good have fun in radio.
No, that's the truth nowadays. I mean, it's good to have it, but if you don't have it, I'm gonna tell you, some of these digital modes. I ain't real crazy about digital, but I went through it and done most of them. They've been kind of fun over here with me being them very limited antennas here in town. I get back out in the country, I'll really swap that over.
No, I got you. No, that's the whole point is you got to work with what you got, and you can have fun with what you got if you're willing to put in the time and the trouble to do a good job with it. And that's partly the fun. If it was easy, if it was really easy, it wouldn't be any fun.
Yeah, and that's something that I don't think a true CBer gets, that they start out with radio and power, and I'd rather start out with antenna and any kind of radio and make just as many as
Absolutely, absolutely. Of course, that's the kind of the idea is the least amount of power you can get away with and still do a good job.
Yeah, you know, and I run them out most all the time. I won't get you wrong. If I was on most time, I had it on, but we'd play around every now and then and turn the amp off and go down. I know we had good propagation on 10 meters one evening and worked Indonesia with 5 watts.
Oh, wow. Yeah, well, conditions help out, don't they?
Yeah, they do. Okay, good to hear y'all. Just thought I'd check in with you. KT410.
Yeah, that was Randy KT4TN, and that's he's in Franklin, and looking forward to getting on the air in your home shack again. Who else south is coming?
Kilo Echo 4, Sierra Yankee Victor.
Hey, Larry, you doing all right?
Yeah, man, just wait my turn.
There was a lot of people to get waiting for, wasn't there?
That's a good night. Nothing wrong with that.
No, nothing wrong with it at all. I'm just, it's nice to have you back in there tonight. I mean, you've been one of the regulars for a long time, and it's good to hear you. And, you know, on our 5-year anniversary, I can't believe, like I said, I can't believe it's been this long. You know, it cracks me up that it's been this long.
I don't believe I've been there 5 years, but sometime when you ain't doing nothing, look in your Wayback Machine there. And how long have I been with you?
I'd have to look. I'd have to look all through all the logs because I don't keep a regular. I keep a list, but I'd have to go back through the list to see when you started checking in. That's going back through 500 nets.
Okay, man. We'll let you get on with it. KE4 SYV.
Very good. That was Larry Kilo Echo 4 Sierra Yankee Victor. He is in Rockville. Good signal as always. Anybody else out?
Kilo India 4 November Delta November.
Hey, David, how are you? Another one of our big contributors to the ham radio community. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing all right. Larry's been in there at least 4 years, I'm sure.
I think he has. Like I said, I don't really keep track other than keeping, you know, I don't keep a checklist of every time somebody checks in and I go, hey, you missed 2 days in January, 2014. I don't do that.
Oh, I know. Well, if he was, organized like maybe an air read, something like it, like it. But anyway, he was there first time I ever. So yeah,
Yeah. Well, I'm glad to have you in there. I know you appreciate the Simplex world, and you've been a big contributor in your own community.
Yes, sir. And I really love to talk about that country music there too. But you know what? You ain't country.
No, I'm not. I wouldn't profess to be country, but I can certainly appreciate how deep that culture goes in Tennessee. I mean, it blew me away when I moved here. It really did.
Well, your sentiments talking about it was greater than a lot of folks that grew up here, though. But I've been watching a little bit of that cigarette. Just a lot of information I was not aware of.
No, it's beautiful. I love that. I'm gonna buy the DVD or the set.
Yeah, a daughter of mine ordered up a set a couple of days ago. It arrived yesterday and came with a real nice book and CDs and video as well.
For those of you that are watching on the net, my dog decided to stick his head here he's photo bombing our ham net here for the anniversary.
Happy anniversary, old man. Appreciate what you do. Good evening to everybody on the net. KI4 and
Yeah, very good, David. Good to have you in there. That's David, Kilo India 4, November Delta November, and he is in Reedyville. That's where he is. I had to think about that for a second. Who else we got? Anybody else south? Late check-ins, any place, anywhere, please come in.
KD4 VW Mobile.
KD4 who?
Victor Uniform Whiskey, Carlin, and the Mobile.
Very good, Carlin. I didn't recognize the call. Victor Uniform Whiskey. Good to have you in there. Where are you mobile?
I'm on 31E. I just passed a mile marker, but I just passed it. All I seen it was a mile marker. I'll be coming up on this page here probably in the next mile and a half.
Okay, very good. Up near Bethpage. Gotcha. Well, very good. Your signal's good into me tonight.
That's good. I wasn't looking at the meter there, but I think you were at least look like an S9 and up.
Yeah, you're bumping up against 10 over.
Oh, that's good. Well,
That's working real good. Yeah, I've got I go down a little recess right here and then come back up and I'll see that best page unincorporated sign there.
Ah, very good. Well, very good. You having a good night?
Yeah, I'm coming home with some groceries. I went down here and got me some Wendy Baconator with lettuce, tomato, and a small chili for supper, and then I went over and got a handful of groceries, and I'm heading back.
It's all you're doing is contributing to climate change and global warming.
I'm so sick of hearing about that.
Sick. I can't stand it.
That's the way I am. I mean, I'm tired of all these people. Like a little girl they had screaming at Trump the other day. I was thinking they didn't put that girl in a mental institution.
Don't get me started on that now. I don't know anybody who thought that was good.
It just shows she didn't know what she was talking about as far as I'm concerned. I was just sitting there looking, I don't know what you grown up are trying to do. Mile marker 24. That's what I just passed. So, I don't know. I'm just so tired of hearing that. It's like they were talking on, I think Leland Statham said on the news at noon today, I think. And it's the hottest it's ever been, and I'm going like, how about 2,000 years ago? Were you standing around measuring the temperature?
Yeah, they're full of it. They really are. They can't stop. They can't stop. It's like they have no imagination for anything else, and so they keep dwelling on the same old crap, and it gets old.
Well, I think George Carlin put it the best way back on an album. I can't remember which album it was, but he was just calling people that thought they could control the earth and stuff arrogant.
Yeah, I think he was right, wasn't he?
Yeah, they are. They're very arrogant. They got this idea that they can control the way the earth goes around the sun and stuff. They've even talked about it. We can change the orbit around the sun and cool things down. I'm thinking you bunch of idiots.
Yeah, I know. Sounds silly, doesn't it, when you think about it? Well, listen, Carlin, good to have you in there. Let me see if anybody else is out there on late check-ins. Good to have you in there, mobile. Down there, Bethpage, Kilo Delta 4, Victor, Uniform Whiskey. Who else is out there late checking?
KC8NO portable.
Hey, how you doing? I heard you in a little while, Jeff. You must be busy with the family.
Yep, been pretty busy here, but saw the announcement and up on the YouTube stream here a little bit toward the end of the 5th year anniversary edition. 7-3 to you and all of that. Have a good evening. KC8NO. That's it.
Very good. Yeah, see, thanks for being there, Jeff. That's KC8NNO. He is pretty instrumental in the radio community, at least in the hospital parts and emergency services in the hospitals. And appreciate his checking in tonight. I just noticed we got Mark in CQ from Wichita, and we also got Dennis. He must be out of town. That's who that is. And I still got to call out unless I can hear that fella out there in Kansas on my beam. So you might have to bear with me in a second. Anyway, who else out there? That was KC8, Kilo Charlie 8, November, Oscar, and that's Jeff, and he's in Northwest Wilson. Is there anybody else late checking? Lollygaggers, lurkers, sandbaggers, scanner listeners, SDR, donglers, what do you call it? The preppers and the end time survivors. We got any of those tonight? Well, we'll close on that, but I'm not going to do that because give me a chance. Most of you probably be able to hear me. I got 85 watts on the other radio with a beam, but I'm going to be pointing west. If you can hear me, very good. If you can't, well, I'm sorry. I'll be there in a second. I'm going to be turning off my regular radio. There we go. This is K4PEW. K4PEW, CQ any station west, please come in. CQ. This is K4PEW, the Mount Juliet Simplex Radio Net. I'm looking for any stations, hopefully out of state, out of Tennessee. Please come in. Not hearing anything, folks. This is K4 PEW CQ station, particularly looking for N0 Mike Oscar Alpha in Kansas. Please come on. Well, the gremlins aren't working for us. K4 PEW going back to my other antenna. Well, that didn't work out. I didn't hear anything, and I don't think it did. Anybody else hear anything coming in from the west? Please come in. Didn't think so, so I'm going to close on that. Anybody else got any late check-ins or comments or remarks at this point? Got nothing. Well, very good. We had a good night for the 5th year anniversary. That's 25 check-ins. I don't know if we had any silent check-ins. The donglers can't necessarily check in, and the preppers can't necessarily check in, and the lurkers aren't checking in. So I'm closing on that. 25 check-ins. Have a great night, and we hope to see you Saturday morning with the breakfast over at Courtney's restaurant on North Mount Juliet Road, just south of Lebanon Road, a quarter mile. It's on the west side of the Courtney's restaurant. Looking for a big breakfast there. That'll be our 5th anniversary, I guess, party. I don't know what that's going to do. Eggs. That's a big party. Eggs. Maybe somebody will bring donuts. All right, you guys have a good night. K4PEW closing on that.